I had two options: marry the ex-boyfriend who wanted revenge for a crime I didn't commit, or let the hitmen following me finish their job. My fingers were flying across the keyboard at 2 a.m. when I saved the file that would ruin my life. The coffee had gone cold hours ago, but adrenaline kept my hands steady, my mind sharp. 3 years of research. Dozens of interviews. Medical records that made me sick to read, actually physically nauseous, the kind of sick feeling that settles in your stomach like a stone and doesn't leave. Internal documents from a whistleblower who risked everything to contact me. Winter's pharmaceutical was killing people. Not accidentally. Not negligently. Deliberately cutting corners on drug testing to maximize profits, and patients were dying because of it. I wrote under the pen name RT. It gave me freedom to take risks, to ask questions other journalists wouldn't. This story was my masterpiece. My career-defining moment. I had no idea it would be my career-ending moment instead. The next morning, my editor Graham called me into his office. His hands were shaking. He wouldn't look at me. "The story is dead," he said flatly. "You're fired. Effective immediately." I felt the room tilt. My vision actually blurred at the edges, like someone had turned down the brightness on the world. "What?" "Graham, you can't. Pack your things. Leave your badge. Go." His voice cracked. "Please, Rachel. Just go before you make this worse." "Someone paid you off," I whispered, watching his face confirm what I already knew. My mouth went dry, that terrible cottony feeling when you realize something awful is true. "They got to you." He didn't deny it. He just kept staring at his desk like a guilty man. I left with a cardboard box and the sick understanding that powerful people knew my real name now. RT wasn't protecting me anymore. 2 days later, I saw them. 2 men in dark suits standing outside my apartment building. One had a scar running along his jaw. The other wore sunglasses even though it was overcast. They weren't trying to hide. They wanted me to see them. To know I was being watched. My blood went ice cold. You know that feeling, when fear dumps into your veins like a bucket of frozen water. When your heart suddenly pounds so hard you can feel it in your throat, in your ears, behind your eyes. That's what terror actually feels like. Not like in the movies. It's physical. It hurts. I walked faster, my heart hammering, my hands shaking so badly I nearly dropped my phone. They followed me for 3 blocks before disappearing into a black sedan. That night, I couldn't sleep. Every creak in my apartment made me jump. Every car that passed felt like a threat. I researched journalist deaths, whistleblower murders, corporate retaliation tactics until my eyes burned. The men appeared again the next day. And the day after that. At the grocery store. Outside the library. In my parking garage. Always watching. Always 50 feet away. Never close enough to arrest, but close enough to terrify me. I couldn't go to my parents. I wouldn't bring this danger to their door. I moved between cheap hotels, paying cash, using fake names. I dyed my hair darker. I stopped posting online. I became a ghost. But ghosts still need money. My savings were running out fast. I sent out hundreds of job applications. Most went unanswered. The few responses I got went cold the moment they called Graham for a reference. I'd been blacklisted. Then, 3 weeks into unemployment, one email finally came through. Interview request. Everlight Journalism Firms. Tomorrow, 10 a.m. I'd never heard of Everlight, but I was desperate. I said yes without researching the company. That was my first mistake. My second was walking through those doors. The Everlight building was all glass and steel, the kind of place where even the air felt expensive. I took the elevator to the top floor, the executive floor, which should have been my first warning. The receptionist led me to a corner office with floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking all of San Francisco. "Mr. Devers will see you now." I froze. Devers. That name hit me like a punch to the chest, the kind that knocks the air out of your lungs and leaves you gasping. My hands went numb. My ears started ringing. No, it couldn't be. There were thousands of people with that last name. This was just a coincidence. The door opened, and there he was. William Devers. My ex-boyfriend. The man whose heart I'd broken 6 years ago. He stood with his back to me, looking out at the city like he owned it. His shoulders were broader than I remembered. His hair was perfectly styled. He wore a suit that probably cost more than my rent. When he turned around, those blue eyes I used to love were ice cold. Rachel Smith. His voice sent chills down my spine, not the good kind, not the kind I used to feel when he whispered my name in the dark. This was different. This was the cold that seeps into your bones and makes you want to run. William. My throat was too tight to say more. I couldn't breathe properly. Couldn't think. Seeing him after 6 years felt like being underwater, everything muffled and distorted and wrong. 6 years, 3 months, and 17 days, to be exact. He moved toward his desk with predatory grace. Not that I've been counting. The sarcasm was sharp enough to draw blood. I didn't know you owned. Everite? I acquired it 2 years ago. I also own 3 other media companies, a tech startup, and several properties. He sat down, gesturing for me to sit across from him. I've done well for myself since you destroyed me. There it was. The real reason I was here. I'm here about the journalist position, I said, trying to keep my voice steady. I know why you're here. You're unemployed. Blacklisted. Running from men who want to hurt you. He leaned forward. Those 2 men following you? They work for a private security firm. One frequently hired by pharmaceutical companies. My blood turned to ice. How do you know that? I make it my business to know things. Especially when they involve people who once meant something to me. His smile was cruel. You exposed something dangerous. Now you're paying the price. How does it feel, Rachel? Being hunted? Being afraid? If you're just going to mock me, I'm not mocking you. I'm making you an offer. He slid a folder across the desk. Protection. Employment. Safety. Everything you need. I opened the folder with shaking hands. The contract inside offered more money than I'd made in 3 years at Graham's. What's the catch? I whispered, even though I already knew the answer would be bad. Marry me. The words hit me like a physical blow. For a moment, I thought I'd misheard him. My ears were ringing again, that high-pitched whine that drowns out everything else. I could feel my pulse in my fingertips. You're insane. The words came out as a whisper because I couldn't get enough air. I'm practical. My sister Victoria died last year. She left her entire estate to her 10-year-old son, Jake. Her ex-husband is getting out of prison soon and wants custody and access to the family fortune. His voice softened slightly when he mentioned his nephew. I promised Victoria I'd protect Jake. I need a wife to secure custody and satisfy the family trust requirements. And you chose me because you owe me. The softness vanished. You accused me of cheating 6 years ago. You believed your cousin Zara over me. You broke my heart and walked away without giving me a chance to defend myself. I saw her in your bed, William. And I was unconscious. Drugged. But you didn't care about the truth. You just assumed the worst and left. He grabbed my wrist, not hard, but firm enough to stop me from standing. Now you need me. And I'm going to make you pay for what you did. Every single day. I yanked my hand free. I'd rather take my chances with the stalkers. He pulled out his phone and showed me a photo. The 2 men who'd been following me, standing outside a hotel. My hotel. From last night. They know where you are, Rachel. They're getting closer. How long do you think you have? A week? A day? He tucked his phone away. I'm offering you a deal. 1 year of marriage. You get protection and employment. I get custody of Jake and the satisfaction of watching you suffer. Then we divorce and you walk away with enough money to start over. You're a monster. No. I'm a businessman. And you're out of options. He leaned back. You have 48 hours to decide. Accept my offer or face them alone. I ran from that office like the building was on fire. I sat in my car in the parking garage, shaking and crying, and called my father. My hands were trembling so badly I could barely hold the phone. Dad, I need help. Please. I'm in trouble. Rachel, I can't talk right now. We're dealing with a financial crisis at the company. Someone is following me. I think they want to hurt me. I just need a place to stay for a few weeks. Rachel, I don't have time for your drama. Figure it out yourself. He paused. And don't come home. I can't have you bringing your problems to our door. He hung up. The phone went dead in my hand, and something inside me broke. Not like a clean snap, more like a slow crumbling, the way a sandcastle collapses when the tide comes in. My own father had just abandoned me. The man who was supposed to protect me had just told me I was on my own. I tried calling my best friend Jade next. She at least answered with concern in her voice. Rachel. Oh my God, are you okay? No. Jade, I need help. Can I stay with you? There was a long, awful pause. Rachel, I want to help, I really do. But Graham called everyone at the company. He warned us not to associate with you. If I help you, I could lose my job too. Her voice cracked. I'm so sorry. I have student loans and rent, and I can't risk it. Everyone I called gave me the same answer. I was toxic. Dangerous to know. Nobody wanted to risk their career for me. I was completely alone. That night, I checked into another cheap motel on the edge of the city. I triple-locked the door and pushed a chair under the handle. The room smelled like stale cigarettes and bleach. I was just falling asleep, that heavy, exhausted kind of sleep where your body finally gives up fighting, when I heard footsteps in the hallway. Heavy. Deliberate. Stopping right outside my door. Every muscle in my body went rigid. My heart was beating so hard I thought I might vomit. That's what real fear does. It doesn't just make your heart race, it makes you physically sick. Your mouth floods with saliva, your stomach clenches, your hands go clammy. The doorknob turned. I grabbed my phone, ready to call 911, my heart hammering so hard I thought I might pass out. The door was locked. They couldn't get in. I was safe. Then I heard a voice. Room 304. We know you're in there. The man with the scar. I'd recognize that voice anywhere. You can't hide forever, Miss Smith. Tomorrow night, we won't knock first. Footsteps retreating. An engine starting. Silence. I didn't sleep. I sat with my back against the headboard, pepper spray in one hand, phone in the other, staring at the door until sunrise. When morning came, I knew what I had to do. I had no choice. I walked into William's office at 9 a.m., looking like hell because I hadn't slept in days. He was on a phone call, speaking fluent French about some merger. When he saw me, he held up one finger, wait, and continued his conversation like I wasn't even there. The power play was so obvious it made me want to scream. When he finally hung up, he leaned back in his chair with a satisfied smile. I didn't think you'd come back. I don't have a choice. Everyone has a choice, Rachel. You're just making the smart one. He pulled out the contract again. Shall we discuss terms? 1 year, I said, my voice hollow. Then we divorce and never see each other again. Agreed. You'll move into my house. We'll play the perfect couple in public. You'll get a job at one of my media companies doing real journalism, nothing that will bring more danger to my door. I get custody of Jake and control of the family trust. I want my own bedroom. And I want you to leave me alone as much as possible. Fine. Separate bedrooms. And I'll leave you alone. He smiled like a shark. Except when it amuses me not to. I stared at the contract. My hand was shaking so badly I could barely hold the pen. The paper blurred in front of me. I felt like I was signing my own death warrant, but what choice did I have? Why do you hate me this much? I whispered. Because I loved you that much. His voice was cold, but I heard something underneath it. Something raw. You destroyed me, Rachel. Now I get to watch you suffer. Fair trade. I signed the contract. The pen felt heavy in my hand, like it weighed 1,000 pounds. Each letter of my name felt like giving up a piece of myself. 2 weeks later, I was standing in a bridal suite at the most expensive hotel in San Francisco, wearing a dress that cost more than my car, wondering how my life had become a nightmare. William had insisted on a real wedding. 200 guests. A 5-tier cake. A string quartet. He wanted everyone to see Rachel Smith marrying the man she'd once accused of cheating. He wanted to humiliate me publicly. My mother kept crying and telling me how beautiful I looked. She had no idea this was all a lie. Then my cousin Zara appeared in the doorway, stunning in a blue dress, her smile venomous. Well, look at the blushing bride. She closed the door behind her. I just came to give you a warning, cousin. William is mine. He always has been. If he was yours, he wouldn't be marrying me. My voice sounded braver than I felt. My heart was already racing again. Something about the way she was looking at me made my skin crawl. This marriage won't last. Because you and I both know what really happened 6 years ago. She leaned in close. You think you saw William cheat on you. But what you saw was me winning. I wanted him. I drugged him, climbed into his bed, and made sure you walked in at exactly the right moment. The room spun. Actually spun, the walls tilted, the floor felt unsteady beneath my feet. I reached out to steady myself against the vanity. You set us up? Obviously. And I'll do it again. She smiled sweetly. Enjoy your wedding day, Rachel. It's all downhill from here. She left, and I sat down, unable to breathe. My chest felt tight, like someone was sitting on it. My hands were numb. William had been telling the truth. He'd been drugged. Innocent. And I destroyed us both by not believing him. The guilt hit me like a wave, hot and suffocating and heavy. It settled in my chest like concrete. There was no time to process. Music started playing. It was time. I walked down the aisle in a daze. William stood at the altar in a perfect tuxedo, his expression unreadable. We said our vows. Mine shook. His were emotionless. When the officiant said, "You may kiss the bride," William leaned in and whispered, "Act like you love me. We have an audience." The kiss was cold. Empty. A performance. Everyone cheered like it was real. At the reception, I needed air. I walked into the garden, trying not to cry, trying to breathe through the tightness in my chest. And found William kissing a beautiful blonde woman. Time stopped. Just stopped. I stood there, frozen, watching my husband kiss another woman on our wedding day. My vision tunneled. All I could see was them, his hand in her hair, her body pressed against his. Everything else went dark around the edges. When they finally broke apart, both of them laughing, I found my voice. What the hell is this? William turned, not even bothering to look guilty. Rachel. I wondered when you'd find us. The blonde smiled, extending her hand. You must be the bride. I'm Hallie Ray. Care to explain why you're kissing my husband? My voice was shaking. My whole body was shaking. I felt hot and cold at the same time, adrenaline dumping into my system, making my hands tingle, making my vision sharp and narrow. Oh, honey, don't be dramatic. This is a business arrangement, remember? Hallie's voice dripped with fake sweetness. William doesn't owe you anything. She's right, William said casually, like my heart wasn't breaking right in front of him. Like he couldn't see me falling apart. This is a contract, not a real marriage. I can do whatever I want. Something in me snapped, not broke, but snapped taut, like a rubber band pulled too tight. Anger flooded through me, hot and sharp, burning away the hurt for just a moment. You wanted revenge for something I didn't do, for something Zara did to both of us. She told me everything. She drugged you. Set the whole thing up. You were innocent. For just a second, something flickered in William's eyes. Pain. Then it was gone. And? His voice was hard. You still didn't believe me. You still left. So yes, Rachel, I want revenge. And watching you suffer is exactly what I signed up for. He walked away with Hallie on his arm, leaving me alone in the garden. The rest of the reception was torture. I watched them dance, whisper, touch. All while guests congratulated me on finding love again. This was hell. Late that night, we drove to his mansion in silence. The house was enormous, 3 stories, security gates, a staff of 5. My beautiful prison. Your room is on the 2nd floor. East wing, William said without looking at me. The staff will show you. I have work to do. William, wait. What? I'm sorry. For not believing you. For destroying what we had. I was wrong. His jaw clenched. Sorry doesn't change anything. We're stuck in this arrangement now. So let's just survive it. He walked away, and I finally let myself cry. The first month of marriage was psychological warfare. William worked 14-hour days. Hallie was always around, having breakfast in the kitchen, lounging by the pool, appearing at dinner uninvited. Morning, Mrs. Devers, she'd say with false sweetness. William was telling me about your little journalism hobby. How cute. I bit my tongue until I tasted blood. William's sister Violet was just as bad. She'd rearrange things in my room, criticize my clothes at family dinners, make comments about how I'd never really been William's first love anyway. I threw myself into freelance work, writing under RT again. If I couldn't have a real marriage, I'd at least have my career. But the loneliness was crushing. Then Jake arrived. William's nephew was small for 10, with dark hair and sad eyes that had seen too much. You're the new wife, he said flatly when we met. I am. I'm Rachel. Will you leave too? Everyone always leaves. He shrugged, trying to look tough. My mom died. Uncle William doesn't really want me here. I'm just another problem for him to solve. My heart broke. That's not true. Your uncle loves you. He works all the time. He barely talks to me. I sat down next to him. Some people are bad at showing they care. But that doesn't mean they don't care. Are you like that? No. I cry at commercials. He almost smiled. Over the next few days, Jake and I spent time together. I helped with homework. We watched movies. I made him laugh by doing terrible celebrity impressions. One night, he fell and scraped his knee badly. I cleaned the wound and made him hot chocolate while he cried, not from pain, but from missing his mother. She used to make it like this, he whispered. Tell me about her. He talked for hours about Victoria, her laugh, her terrible singing, the bedtime stories she'd read with different voices. I looked up and saw William standing in the doorway, watching us. Something in his expression had shifted. Later that week, Violet cornered me in the hallway. Jake likes you, she said softly. He's a good kid. My sister would have liked you too. Her voice cracked. Maybe I've been unfair to you. Maybe. I'm still watching you. But maybe we can try to get along. It was a start. William came home drunk on a Friday night, Ty askew, eyes unfocused. I found him in the living room, struggling to open a bottle of scotch. Let me help. Don't need help. You've clearly had enough. Haven't had enough. He looked at me then, really looked at me. You're still beautiful. I hate that. Wish you were ugly. Would be easier. William, you're drunk. 6 years, Rachel. 6 years I tried to forget you. Slept with other women. Built an empire. Made billions. He laughed bitterly. Still dreamed about you every night. How pathetic is that? My breath caught in my throat. My heart did this painful stutter-step thing, like it couldn't decide whether to race or stop completely. You don't mean that. I loved you so much it hurt. Then you left. Broke my heart. He swayed on his feet. So now I break yours. Fair trade. Hallie appeared in the doorway, wearing one of William's shirts. Baby, come to bed. Not your bed. Rachel's bed. She's my wife. Only on paper. Still my wife. William pushed past Hallie, stumbling toward me. Still wearing my ring. He grabbed my face, his thumb tracing my cheek. His touch was gentle despite the alcohol, despite the anger. For a moment, I thought he might kiss me. My whole body tensed, waiting, wanting, hating that I wanted. Instead, he whispered, I hate you. And I hate that I still love you. The words hit me like a physical blow, straight to the chest, stealing my breath. Because I felt it too. God help me, I felt it too. Then he passed out on the couch. Hallie glared at me. He doesn't mean that. He's drunk. Then why'd he look worried? I shot back. The next morning, William didn't remember. Or pretended not to. But something had changed between us. A few weeks later, my freelance work started getting real attention. I was meeting with my old colleague Devin to discuss story leads at a coffee shop when William saw us. That night, he was furious. Devin Kurt? Really? We were discussing work. He looked at you like you were his. You're my wife. William's voice was dangerous. You don't get to embarrass me publicly. That's rich coming from the man who kisses Hallie at every opportunity. That's different. How? How is it different? I stepped closer, anger overwhelming common sense. You flaunt her to hurt me. I talk to an old colleague and you lose your mind. We were inches apart, both breathing hard. You're jealous, William said, a slow smile spreading across his face. I am not. You are. You're jealous of Hallie. You want me. You're delusional. Prove it. Kiss me right now and feel nothing. I should have walked away. Should have told him to go to hell. Instead, I grabbed his collar and kissed him. It was angry, desperate, full of 6 years of pain and longing. His hands tangled in my hair. My fingers dug into his shoulders. We stumbled backward, knocking over a vase that shattered on the floor. The kiss was everything, hot and furious and hungry. My skin felt electric, like every nerve ending was on fire. This was what I'd been missing. This intensity. This connection. It terrified me how right it felt. When we finally broke apart, both breathless, we just stared at each other. This doesn't change anything, I whispered. No, it doesn't. But we both knew it did. Act 8. The truth about my father, 46:00-56:00. My story on Winter's Pharmaceutical had gone viral. People were finally paying attention. Victims were coming forward. The company was under investigation. But I kept digging. Something didn't add up. I traced the shell corporations that owned Winters, followed the money through layers of legal protection, and found something that made my world collapse. Winters Pharmaceutical was owned by Douglas Smith, my father. I sat in my car, staring at the documents, unable to breathe. The words blurred on the page. My hands started shaking again, that violent, uncontrollable trembling that starts in your fingers and spreads through your whole body. My father owned the company that was killing people. My father had paid Graham to fire me. My father had sent those men to stalk me. My father had tried to have me killed. The realization didn't hit all at once. It came in waves, each one worse than the last. First the shock, cold and numbing. Then the disbelief, this can't be real. Then the horror, oh God, it is real. And finally, the grief, hot and choking and suffocating. I wanted to throw up. I wanted to scream. I wanted to disappear. I drove to his office in a daze. When I walked in, guilt flashed across his face before he could hide it. Rachel, what are you doing here? Winters Pharmaceutical. It's yours, isn't it? He sighed heavily. Rachel, you tried to have me killed. Your own daughter. It was never supposed to go that far. His voice rose defensively. I just wanted you to stop writing. To back off. But you kept pushing. Because people were dying. My voice cracked. I could feel tears burning behind my eyes, my throat getting tight. You were killing them for profit. It was business. The company was losing money. We had to cut costs somewhere. So you cut safety measures? Testing protocols? You murdered people to save money. I threw the documents on his desk. My hands were shaking with rage now, not fear. Rage felt better. Cleaner. I'm RT. The journalist who's been exposing you. Your daughter. All the color drained from his face. He looked like I'd punched him. Good. I wanted him to hurt the way I was hurting. You have two choices, I continued, my voice shaking with rage and heartbreak. Shut down Winters, pay reparations to every victim, and turn yourself in. Or I publish everything I have on you, all the evidence, all the crimes, all of it. Rachel, I'm your father. A father doesn't try to kill his child. I turned to leave. You have 24 hours. He chose wrong. He tried to run, to hide evidence, to threaten me one more time. So I published everything. The exposé was the biggest story of my career. Within a week, Douglas Smith was arrested. Winters Pharmaceutical was shut down. Victims started getting justice. And I destroyed my own father. But I'd done the right thing. I knew I'd done the right thing. So why did it feel like dying? William found me crying in my room that night. I was curled up on the bed, sobbing so hard I couldn't breathe, couldn't think, couldn't function. The grief was physical. It hurt in my chest, in my throat, behind my eyes. Without a word, he sat down next to me and pulled me into his arms. I collapsed against him, and he just held me. His hand stroked my hair, slow and steady. His heartbeat was strong against my ear. Solid. Real. Safe. You did the right thing, he said softly. It hurts now. But you saved lives. I destroyed my family. No. He destroyed himself. You just held him accountable. William's arms tightened around me. You're the bravest person I know. For the first time since our wedding, I felt like maybe we could be okay. Things shifted after that night. William came home earlier. We had dinner together with Jake. We really talked, about our past, our mistakes, what we'd both lost. I should have believed you about Zara, I said one night. I should have given you a chance to explain. And I should have tried harder to explain. Should have fought for us instead of letting you walk away. He reached for my hand. We were young. We made mistakes. Can we fix them? I don't know. But I want to try. Hallie noticed the change. She became more desperate, more possessive. One morning at breakfast, she announced, I'm pregnant. With William's baby. The room went silent. Violet dropped her coffee mug. Jake stared. I felt like I'd been punched in the stomach. All the air left my lungs in one violent rush. The room tilted. My vision went spotty. I gripped the edge of the table to keep from falling. William's face went pale. What? We've been together for months. It was bound to happen. Hallie smiled triumphantly at me. I stood up and walked out, refusing to cry in front of her. Violet followed me. Rachel, wait, I didn't know. She lied to me. It doesn't matter. It does matter. Because she's lying now too. I've known Hallie since college. She lies when she's desperate. Violet grabbed my arm. Let me handle this. Violet confronted Hallie that afternoon, and the truth came out, there was no pregnancy. She'd faked it, hoping it would force William to leave me. William ended things with her immediately. Violet ended their friendship. Hallie left, screaming that we'd all regret this. That night, William found me in the library. I'm sorry, he said quietly. For Hallie. For everything. I was trying to hurt you, and I just hurt both of us. Why did you really bring her around? The truth. He was quiet for a long moment. Because I was terrified. Terrified of falling for you again. Terrified of getting hurt again. So I kept her around as a barrier. As proof that I was still in control. He sat down next to me. But I was lying to myself. I never stopped loving you, Rachel. I've been in love with you for 6 years, and I hate it and I love it, and I don't know what to do with it. I took his hand. Stop fighting it. Stop trying to hurt me. Just be with me. For real this time. The contract. Screw the contract. I turned to face him. I don't want a fake marriage anymore. I want you. The real you. Even with all the anger and pain and baggage. I want us to try. Are you sure? Because if we do this, there's no going back. I'm sure. He kissed me then, and it wasn't angry or desperate or cold. It was soft and warm and real. We made it to his room this time. And when we made love, it felt like healing. Like 6 years of broken pieces finally coming back together. While William and I were rebuilding our relationship, His ex-brother-in-law Asher was plotting his revenge. The custody hearing was brutal. Asher's lawyer painted William as an absent workaholic incapable of raising a child. Mr. Devers works 80 hours a week. He's rarely home. He has no experience parenting, the lawyer argued. Our lawyer countered, Mr. Devers is married to Rachel Smith Devers, an award-winning journalist. Together, they provide a stable, loving home for Jake. The judge looked at us. Is this a real marriage? Not just a business arrangement. I reached for William's hand. Yes, Your Honor. Very real. And, for the first time, it wasn't a lie. The judge ruled in our favor, temporary custody to William, with another hearing in 6 months. But Asher wasn't done. One afternoon, Jake didn't come home from school. Panic erupted. William's security team searched everywhere. We called the police. Hours passed with no word. I'd never seen William so terrified, and seeing him scared made me more terrified. My hands wouldn't stop shaking. I couldn't sit still. I paced the house like a caged animal, my heart racing, my mind spinning through every horrible possibility. Then Asher called. I have Jake. $10 million, or you never see him again. I'm calling the FBI, William said, his voice shaking in a way I'd never heard before. No. I grabbed his arm, holding tight. He'll hurt Jake if you do. Pay him. We'll find Jake another way. We paid. And then William's head of security, Danny, traced Asher's location through the call. They found Jake in an abandoned building 30 miles outside the city, scared but unharmed. Asher was arrested for kidnapping and extortion. When we got Jake home, he clung to me, crying. His small body shook against mine, and I held him so tight I was afraid I might hurt him. But I couldn't let go. Couldn't stop the tears streaming down my face. I knew you'd come. Both of you. I knew you wouldn't leave me. Never, William and I said in unison. Relief flooded through me, warm and overwhelming and almost painful. Jake was safe. We were all safe. My family was safe. That night, after Jake finally fell asleep, William found me on the balcony. I meant what I said at the hearing, he said quietly. This is real now. You're not just my contract wife. You're my actual wife. And I want this, us, to be permanent. The contract ends in 2 months. Then let's tear it up. Let's get married again. For real this time. No revenge. No games. Just us. I turned to look at him. Are you sure? Because I come with a lot of baggage. A father in prison. A family that hates me. Trauma and trust issues. And I come with a dead sister, a traumatized nephew, a company that demands everything, and my own share of baggage. He pulled me close. But I love you anyway. I choose you anyway. Choose me back. I already did, I whispered. The moment I signed that contract, I think some part of me knew I'd end up right here. He kissed me under the stars, and it felt like a promise. Like a second chance we'd both earned. 6 months later, we had a second wedding. A small one this time. Just Jake, Violet, a handful of close friends. No performance. No games. Just truth. I wore a simple white dress. William cried when he saw me. Jake was our ring bearer and took the job very seriously. When we said our vows, they were the ones we'd written ourselves. William, I promise to choose you every day. To believe in you. To support your work even when it terrifies me. To be the partner you deserve. Me, I promise to trust you. To communicate instead of running. To love Jake like he's my own. To build a real life with you, not a contract. When we kissed, everyone cheered. But this time, it was real. My journalism company, Smith Media, took off. Jade became my partner. We specialized in investigative journalism that held powerful people accountable. William funded it, and for once, I let him. Violet and I became actual friends. She started dating Danny, William's head of security, and we double date like normal couples. Jake started calling me mom. The first time he said it, I cried for an hour. Then, 3 months after our real wedding, I was late. I stared at the positive pregnancy test, hands shaking, heart racing. But this time, the shaking was different. Not fear. Not panic. Joy. Pure, terrifying, overwhelming joy. When I told William, he lifted me off my feet, spinning me around. His laugh was bright and free, and I felt it in my chest, warm and golden and perfect. We're having a baby. A real family. We already have a family, I said, looking at where Jake was doing homework in the next room. My heart felt too big for my chest, like it might burst. We're just making it bigger. I love you, William whispered, setting me down gently, his hands cradling my face like I was something precious. I love you so much it still scares me sometimes. Good. It should be a little scary. That's how you know it's real. He kissed me, and I thought about how far we'd come. From a contract born of revenge to a marriage built on trust. From two broken people to a real family. My father was in prison. My old family had cut me off. I'd been hunted, betrayed, and nearly destroyed. But I'd also found my strength. My voice. My purpose. And I'd found my way back to the only man I'd ever truly loved. Sometimes the worst contracts turn into the best commitments. Sometimes revenge turns into redemption. And sometimes love finds you even when you're not looking for it, especially when you're not looking for it. This was my story. My truth. My happy beginning. Because the best part wasn't the ending. It was knowing that we'd keep choosing each other, every single day, for the rest of our lives. The end. Total runtime, approximately 75 minutes with proper pacing and narration. Number 40-minute YouTube story, first-person POV Rachel. Hashtag soap opera style, non-stop drama. Hashtag opening hook. I married the man who destroyed me 6 years ago, my ex-boyfriend who cheated on me with my own cousin. He said he'd give me a job and protect me from the stalkers hunting me down, but only if I became his wife so he could punish me every single day. What I didn't know. He was innocent all along. And the person trying to kill me? My own father. My hands are shaking as I pack up my desk at Graham's media house. 3 years of work, gone in 5 minutes. You're fired, Rachel, Graham had said, barely able to look at me. The Winter's pharmaceutical story is dead. And if you keep pushing it, you will be too. I'm a journalist. Was a journalist. I write under the pen name RT, and I just uncovered the biggest story of my career, a pharmaceutical company poisoning people for profit. People were dying. And I had proof. Now I have nothing. Except the 2 men in dark suits who've been following me for 3 weeks. They're outside the coffee shop when I stop for a latte. They're in the parking garage when I get to my car. They're always there. Always watching. I can't go home. If these men are willing to follow me, they're willing to hurt my family. So I'm living in cheap motels, paying cash, using fake names, praying my savings don't run out before I find a job. I've sent out hundreds of applications. Every door slams in my face. Graham blacklisted me. Nobody in journalism will touch me. Then one email comes through. Interview request. Everlight Journalism Firms. Tomorrow, 10 a.m. I've never heard of them, but I don't care. This is my only shot. The Everlight building is glass and steel, towering over San Francisco like a monument to power. The receptionist sends me to the top floor. The executive floor. My stomach drops. The doors open, and I see him. William Devers. My ex-boyfriend. The man who cheated on me with my cousin Zara 6 years ago. The man who shattered my heart into a million pieces. Now he's standing in a designer suit, looking at me like I'm something he scraped off his shoe. Rachel Smith. His voice is cold. It's been a long time. William. I can barely get his name out. I didn't know you owned. Everlight? I own a lot of things. He sits behind his massive desk. I also know about the 2 men following you. The pharmaceutical company. Your blacklisting. Your desperation. My blood runs cold. How do you know that? I make it my business to know. He leans forward, and those blue eyes, the ones I once loved, are pure ice. I can give you everything you need. A job. Safety. Protection. Money. What do you want? Marry me. I actually laugh. It comes out broken and hysterical. You're insane. You destroyed me 6 years ago, Rachel. You accused me of cheating, believed your lying cousin over me, and walked away without giving me a single chance to explain. His voice is venom. Now you're desperate. Now you need me. So here's my offer. Marry me so I can secure custody of my nephew and keep my family wealth. And every single day of our marriage, you'll suffer for what you did to me. I saw you, William. I saw Zara in your bed. And you didn't stick around to hear the truth. He stands, towering over me. You made your choice 6 years ago. Now I'm making mine. Marry me, or take your chances with those men outside. Go to hell. 48 hours, Rachel. Then your time runs out. I run from that office like it's on fire. I'm sitting in my car crying when my phone rings. Dad. Dad, thank God. I need help. Can I please stay with you and Mom for a few weeks? Rachel, no. His voice is sharp. My company is dealing with a crisis. I don't have time for your drama. Don't come home. He hangs up on me. My own father just abandoned me. I call my best friend Jade next. Can I stay with you? Please, I'm desperate. There's a long, painful pause. Rachel, I'm so sorry. Graham warned everyone at the company not to associate with you. If I help you, I could lose my job. I have rent, student loans. I'm sorry. Click. I try 3 more colleagues. Same answer. Everyone's too scared to help me. That night, I check into another motel on the outskirts of town. Room 304. I triple lock the door, push a chair under the handle, and finally breathe. I'm almost asleep when I hear them. Footsteps in the hallway. Heavy. Deliberate. They stop right outside my door. The doorknob turns. My heart is hammering so hard I think it might explode. I grab my phone, ready to call 911. Then I hear his voice. The man with the scar. Room 304. We know you're in there. A pause that feels like forever. Tomorrow night, we won't knock first. Footsteps retreating. An engine starting. Silence. I don't sleep. I sit with my back against the headboard, pepper spray in one hand, phone in the other, watching the door until sunrise. When morning comes, I know what I have to do. I walk back into William's office at 9 a.m. sharp. He's on the phone, speaking French about some merger. He sees me and holds up one finger, wait, like I'm an inconvenience. When he finally hangs up, he smirks. I didn't think you'd come back. I don't have a choice. Everyone has a choice, Rachel. You're just making the smart one. He slides the contract across the desk. Let's discuss terms. Why do you really need a wife? For the first time, something shifts in his expression. My sister Victoria died last year. Cancer. She left everything to her 10-year-old son, Jake. Her ex-husband Asher went to prison for fraud 3 years ago. He's getting out soon, and he wants custody and access to the family fortune. So you need to look stable. I need to be married to gain full custody and control of the family wealth. The will stipulates that a married heir gets everything. Without a wife, the money goes into a trust that Asher can challenge. His jaw clenches. I promised Victoria I'd protect Jake. When you walked into my office desperate and broken, I saw an opportunity. 2 birds, 1 stone. I stare at the contract. My hands won't stop shaking. Why would you want to live with someone you hate? Because watching you pay for destroying me will be deeply satisfying. He slides a pen toward me. 1 year. We play the perfect couple in public. You get safety and a salary. I get custody and revenge. Then we divorce, you take your settlement, and we never see each other again. I think about the doorknob turning. The voice promising they won't knock next time. I pick up the pen. I want my own bedroom. And I want to keep writing. Fine. Separate bedrooms. But nothing that brings danger to my house. He leans back. Sign it, Rachel. Or walk out that door and face what's waiting. I sign my name. Welcome to hell, he says with a smile. 2 weeks later, I'm standing in a bridal suite wearing a dress that costs more than my car, and my life is a nightmare. William insisted on a huge wedding. 200 guests. A 5-tier cake. A string quartet. He wants everyone to see me marry the man I once accused of cheating. He wants to humiliate me publicly. My mom Katie is fussing with my veil, crying happy tears. She doesn't know the truth. Nobody does. Everyone thinks we reconnected and fell in love again. If only they knew. There's a knock. Devin walks in, my former colleague who I had a stupid one-night stand with 6 months ago. Rachel, we need to talk. Devin, not now. I love you. The words tumble out desperately. That night meant something to me. You mean something to me. Don't marry him. Please. Devin, I don't feel. He kisses me. I freeze for half a second before pushing him away. Stop. I'm getting married in 20 minutes. To the wrong man. You need to leave. Now. He storms out, heartbroken. I'm still catching my breath when I hear slow, mocking applause from the doorway. My cousin Zara stands there in a stunning blue dress, smiling like a snake. Well. Cheating on your wedding day? How deliciously hypocritical, Rachel. My stomach drops. That wasn't, he kissed me. I pushed him away. Save your excuses. She walks in, closing the door. I just came to warn you, cousin. William is mine. He always has been. If he's yours, why is he marrying me? Because this marriage won't last. I'll make sure of it. She leans in close, her voice dropping to a vicious whisper. Just like I made sure your relationship ended 6 years ago. You think you caught William cheating? You caught exactly what I wanted you to see. I got him drunk, I climbed into his bed, and I made sure you walked in at the perfect moment. The room spins. You set him up? Obviously. And I'll do it again. This marriage is temporary, Rachel. When it falls apart, and it will, I'll be there to pick up the pieces. She smiles sweetly. Enjoy your wedding day. It's all downhill from here. She leaves, and I sit down before my legs give out. Zara drugged William. Destroyed our relationship on purpose. And I believed her. I walked away without giving him a chance. Oh God. What have I done? Music starts playing. My mother appears. It's time, sweetheart. I walk down the aisle in a daze. William stands at the altar in a perfect tuxedo, his face unreadable. We say our vows. Mine shake. His are steady and emotionless. You may kiss the bride. He leans in, whispers against my lips, act like you love me. We have an audience. The kiss is cold. Performative. Dead inside. Everyone cheers and claps. At the reception, I need air. I can't breathe in this room full of lies. I walk into the garden to clear my head. And I find William locked in a passionate kiss with a beautiful blonde woman. I stand there frozen, watching my husband, kiss another woman on our wedding day. They break apart, laughing. The woman is stunning. Blonde, confident, perfect. What the hell is this? My voice comes out strangled. William doesn't even look guilty. Rachel. There you are. The blonde extends her hand with a fake smile. You must be the bride. I'm Hallie. Hallie Ray. I ignore her completely. William, what are you doing? Oh, honey, don't be dramatic, Hallie purrs. This is a business arrangement, remember? William doesn't owe you anything. We've been together for 6 months, William says casually, like he's discussing the weather. Hallie knows about our contract. She's fine with it. You're cheating on me on our wedding day. Cheating implies a real marriage. This is a contract. He steps closer, his voice dropping dangerously. You humiliated me once, Rachel. Accused me of cheating when I didn't. Now you get to experience what you thought I did. Consider it poetic justice. You're a monster. No, I'm honest. This is what you signed up for. He straightens his tie. Oh, and Hallie is my sister Violet's best friend. So you'll be seeing a lot of her around the house. Get used to it. They walk away together, arm in arm, leaving me alone in the garden, shaking with rage and humiliation. The rest of the reception is torture. I watch William dance with Hallie. Touch her arm. Whisper in her ear. Laugh with her. While guests congratulate me on finding love again. His sister Violet approaches with Hallie. Rachel, have you met my best friend Hallie? We've been friends since college. She and William are very close too. The message is crystal clear, I'm an outsider. I don't belong here. That night, William drives us to his mansion in complete silence. It's enormous. 3 stories, security gates, a full staff. My beautiful prison. Your room is in the east wing, 2nd floor, he says without looking at me. The staff will show you. I have work to do. William, wait. I need to tell you something. Zara admitted today that she drugged you 6 years ago. She set the whole thing up. She made sure I walked in. His jaw clenches so hard I can see the muscle jump. And I'm sorry. I should have listened to you. I should have trusted you. Yes, you should have. His eyes are empty, dead. But sorry doesn't fix 6 years of pain. It doesn't change the fact that you destroyed us. We're stuck in this arrangement now. So let's just survive it. He walks away, leaving me standing in the massive, empty foyer. I'm alone. Again. The first month of marriage is psychological warfare. William works 14, 15-hour days. Comes home late, reeking of expensive perfume. Hallie is always around, having breakfast in the kitchen, lounging by the pool, showing up at dinner uninvited. Good morning, Mrs. Devers, she says with fake sweetness every time she sees me. William was just telling me about your little journalism hobby. How adorable that you still write articles. I bite my tongue until I taste blood. Violet is just as bad. She rearranges furniture in my room without asking. Criticizes my clothes at family dinners. Makes snide comments about how William never really loved you anyway. The staff walks on eggshells. They know something is wrong but don't dare ask questions. I throw myself into freelance writing under my pen name Artie. If I can't have a real marriage, I'll at least have my career back. William discovers I'm Artie, the journalist who's been writing exposés on corrupt elites, and he loses it. You're that writer? The one attacking people like me. People breaking the law. People who could destroy you. He grabs my shoulders. Do you have any idea the risks you're taking? The truth is always worth the risk. We fight constantly. The house is a war zone. Then I meet Jake. William's nephew arrives on a Wednesday, small for 10, with dark hair and the saddest eyes I've ever seen. You're the new wife, he says flatly when we meet. Will you leave too? Everyone always leaves. My heart breaks. I'm not planning on it. My mom said that. Then she died. He shrugs, trying to act tough. Uncle William doesn't really want me here anyway. I'm just another business problem. That's not true. Yes, it is. He works all the time. Barely talks to me. I sit beside him on the garden bench. Your uncle loves you. He's just not good at showing emotions. Some people are like that. Are you? No. I cry at commercials. He almost smiles. Over the next few days, Jake and I bond. I help with homework. We watch movies. I make him laugh with terrible celebrity impressions. One night, Jake falls and scrapes his knee badly. I clean the wound, bandage it, make him hot chocolate. He cries not from pain, but from missing his mother. She used to make it like this, he whispers. Tell me about her. And he does. For hours, Jake talks about Victoria, her laugh, her terrible singing, her bedtime stories. Violet walks in, sees me comforting Jake, and something shifts in her expression. Later, she corners me. He likes you. My sister would have liked you too. Maybe I've been unfair. Maybe. We might actually get along, you and I. It's progress. Then everything explodes when William comes home drunk on a Friday night. I find William in the living room, struggling to open another bottle of scotch. Let me help. Don't need help. Need a drink. He looks at me with unfocused eyes. You're still beautiful. I hate that. Wish you were ugly. Would be so much easier. William, you're drunk. Let me get you some water. 6 years, Rachel. 6 years I tried to forget you. He laughs bitterly. Slept with other women. Built an empire. Made billions. Still dreamed about you every goddamn night. Pathetic. My breath catches. You don't mean. I loved you so much it physically hurt. Then you left. Believed Zara over me. Didn't even give me a chance to explain. He stands, swaying dangerously. Broke my heart. So now I break yours. Fair trade, right? William, I said I was sorry. Sorry doesn't fix anything. Hallie appears in the doorway, wearing one of his shirts like she owns the place. Baby, come to bed. You're embarrassing yourself. Not your bed. Rachel's bed. She's my wife. Only on paper. Still my wife. He pushes past Hallie and stumbles toward me instead. He grabs my face, his thumb tracing my cheek. I hate you. And I hate that I still love you. Then he passes out on the couch. Hallie glares at me like this is my fault. He doesn't mean that. He's drunk. Then why do you look so worried? The next morning, William doesn't remember our conversation. Or he pretends not to. But I remember every word. Things get more complicated when I start meeting Devin for coffee to discuss stories. I'm freelancing, and he has sources I desperately need for my work. William sees us together one afternoon and absolutely loses his mind. At home that night, Devin Kurt? Really? We were discussing work. He looked at you like he wants more than work. William's voice is dangerous. You're my wife. You don't get to embarrass me publicly. Oh, that's rich coming from the man who kisses Hallie at every opportunity. That's different. How? How is it different? I step closer, fury radiating off both of us. You flaunt her constantly to hurt me. I talk to a colleague and you lose your mind. You're a hypocrite. You're jealous, he says slowly, realization dawning. I am not. You are. You're jealous of Hallie. I'm disgusted by you both. Liar. He leans in so close I can feel his breath. You want me. You hate that you want me. But you do. You're delusional. Prove it. Kiss me right now and feel nothing. I should walk away. Tell him to go straight to hell. Instead, I grab his collar and kiss him hard. It's angry, desperate, 6 years of pain and longing exploding between us. His hands tangle in my hair. My fingers dig into his shoulders. We stumble backward, slam into the wall. A vase crashes to the floor, shattering. When we finally break apart, both gasping for air, he looks stunned. This doesn't change anything, I whisper. No, it doesn't. But we both know everything just changed. A week later, William insists we attend a charity gala to maintain appearances. I wear a red dress that makes me feel powerful. He wears a tuxedo that makes me weak. We play the perfect couple for photographers. His hand on my lower back. My laugh at his jokes. Dancing dangerously close. You're a good actress, he murmurs as we sway. So are you. Who says I'm acting? We drink too much champagne. Dance too close. By the time we stumble home, we're laughing and grabbing at each other desperately. We barely make it to my room. Clothes come off in a frenzy. 6 years of denial and pain explode as we fall into bed together. Afterward, tangled in sheets, I whisper, this was a mistake. Probably. Can't happen again. Agreed. But he pulls me closer anyway, and I let him. In the morning, there's awkwardness, regret, and underneath it all, undeniable hunger. Then my world explodes again. At breakfast, Hallie makes an announcement that stops my heart. I'm pregnant. With William's baby. The room goes completely silent. Violet drops her coffee mug. It shatters. Jake stares. My heart stops beating. William's face goes pale. What? We've been together for months, William. It was bound to happen. Hallie smiles triumphantly at me. Guess you're not the only Mrs. Devers anymore. I stand up and walk out before anyone can see me cry. Violet follows me into the hallway. Rachel, wait. Don't. Just don't. I didn't know about them. About the affair. She's my best friend, and she lied to me. Violet actually looks upset. But Rachel? I know Hallie. She lies when she's desperate. I think she's lying now. Why do you care? Because I've watched you with Jake. I've seen how you care for him, how you've been good for this family. She grabs my arm. Let me handle this. Violet confronts Hallie that afternoon, and the truth comes out, there's no pregnancy. Hallie made it up, hoping it would force William to leave me. William ends things with Hallie immediately. Violet ends their friendship. But the damage to my heart is already done. Then my source for the Winters pharmaceutical story reaches out again. I have more evidence. Meet me tonight at this address. Come alone. I go to the location, an abandoned warehouse in the industrial district. Every instinct screams it's a trap, but I need this story. I walk inside. It's dark. Empty. Then I hear footsteps. Multiple sets. The two men who've been stalking me emerge from the shadows. Rachel Smith. You should have stayed quiet. I run. They chase me through the warehouse. I'm cornered. Suddenly, blinding headlights flood the space. William's car screeches in. He jumps out with his security team. Touch her and I end you, William says, voice deadly calm. The men flee. William grabs me, shaking. Are you insane? Going alone? They could have killed you. I needed the story. You need to stay alive. He pulls me close, trembling. Do you understand what would have happened if I hadn't followed you? Why did you follow me? Because you're still my wife. Contract or not. And I protect what's mine. In the car, I tell him everything about the pharmaceutical company, the evidence, my source going missing. Publish it, he says firmly. I'll protect you. I won't let them silence you. It's the first time he's truly supported my work. I publish the most comprehensive exposé of my career. It goes viral within hours. Graham is found days later, traumatized but alive. I was paid to fire you. Threatened. The money came from a shell corporation. I dig deeper. Trace the money through layers of companies. And discover something that destroys my world. The owner of Winters Pharmaceutical is Douglas Smith. My father. My own father tried to have me killed. I drive to his office in a daze. When I walk in, guilt flashes across his face for just a second. Rachel. You own Winters Pharmaceutical. You tried to have me murdered. It was never supposed to go that far. I just wanted you to stop writing, to back off. People were dying. You were poisoning them for profit. It was business. It was murder. I throw the documents on his desk. I'm RT. The journalist who exposed you. Your own daughter. You have 24 hours. Shut down Winters, turn yourself in, or I publish everything. He tries to run instead. So I publish every piece of evidence I have. Within a week, my father is arrested. Winters Pharmaceutical is shut down. Victims finally get justice. Meanwhile, William's ex-brother-in-law Asher gets out of prison and files for custody of Jake. We go to court together. Are you happily married? The judge asks. I reach for William's hand without thinking. Yes, Your Honor. Very happily. It's not a lie anymore. The judge rules in our favor. But Asher isn't finished. Jake disappears from school one afternoon. Asher kidnapped him for ransom, $10 million for Jake's safe return. It takes 36 agonizing hours, but we find Jake safe. Asher is arrested. Jake clings to me when we rescue him. I knew you'd come. I knew you wouldn't leave me. Never, I whisper. During all this chaos, William finally tells me the full truth about Zara. She's been trying to sabotage our marriage since day one. She drugged me 6 years ago, Rachel. I never slept with her. I never cheated on you. The truth crashes over me like a wave. William, I'm so sorry. I should have trusted you. Yes, you should have. He pulls me close. But I forgive you. Because I love you. Not because of the contract. Not for revenge. Just because I do. I love you too. I think I never stopped. We make love that night, not desperate or angry, but tender and real. A month later, everything has settled. My father is in prison. Asher is in prison. Graham offered me my old job back, but I turned him down to start my own media company with Jade. William is funding it. Then I take a pregnancy test. Positive. When I tell William, he lifts me off my feet, spinning me around, laughing. We're having a baby. A real family. We already have a family, I say, looking at Jake playing in the garden. We're just making it bigger. My contract marriage for revenge became the love story I never knew I needed. Sometimes the worst betrayals lead to the best beginnings. And sometimes love finds you in the last place you'd ever look, in the arms of the man you once ran away from.